Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Brandon Claybon, and this is the Actors Break. Today, I have a talented and lovely lady by the name of Patalano. She plays a recurring role on the new hit series Gentefied on Netflix. She's also had recurring roles on The L Word, and she's on Black as Fuck as a Salvadorian nanny as well on Netflix. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. Lara will be joining us shortly, so we will see you guys soon.
Yo estoy aquí matándome mientras tú juegas al artista.
Caramba, you're so dramatic.
Te empaqué todas tus porquerías, mijita.
What would I ever do without my 50 rosaries?
Para que te saques al diablo, cabrona.
All right, I think Lara is here. Lara, can you hear me?
Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
Fine, and you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you so much once again for joining us here on the Actors Break. We're so happy to speak with you.
Thank you for having me and for the invitation. I'm so thrilled to be part of this. Thank you, thank you.
No, this is great. I've heard so much about you through mutual friends, and I knew I wanted you to on this show specifically. So I had a mutual friend of ours reach out, and I'm glad she was able to connect with you.
They were talking good about me.
Oh, no, it was all good. It was all good. Trust me, if it was bad, I wouldn't have you on the show.
You wouldn't say it.
Now, before we get into, I just let everyone know about your roles on Gentefied on Netflix. Also, your recurring role on The L Word, Generation Q. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So I let them know about this, but I wanted to ask you something very specific. I looked over your resume. You have years and years of work. Now, here at the Actors Break, we really focus on that first major break for an actor in the industry. What do you consider your first major break?
Definitely Gentefied.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a major thing, you know. It's something very close to my heart because about my community. And when you have the opportunity to give voice to those who doesn't have a voice, then you take it, you know, you take the chance to do it.
Now, I actually watched Gentefied last night. I binge watched it. It was really good, by the way.
Oh, good.
And your character is so fun. I mean, was it fun to play?
It was fun to play, but it's completely different that's not me, you know, because I am a very loving person that I have twin daughters that I show them my love all the time. And I'm like always talking to them in a very sweet way. I try to support them. I raise them myself. And to see this mom, Beatriz, that she doesn't understand what her daughter wants. It's hard for me, you know, because in my point of view, you have to support your kids. It's very important that you let them do whatever they want to be.
Well, I can tell you already, you are nothing like the character on there because you're coming across very sweet and sincere, and that lady was not.
She was very, very tough. And maybe because my mother was also a very loving mom, you know. And I remember the first time she saw me on stage, and I approached to her and I asked her, what do you think? She said, one day you will be big because you're very talented. Wow. And I guess those words stay with me forever. And even now that I'm not that young, you know, anymore, and you have your first big break, is like, oh, my mother was right. Or maybe because she told me and she trusted that they someday make something out of me. Maybe that's what I did it.
I love that. And especially, let's talk about young people. What do you think your overall message for young actors, young people of color, what's your message to them?
I will tell them, if this is really what you want to do, if you want to become an actor, have respect for the craft, go on and learn the craft, have training, you know, it's very important. And if this is what you want, you make it work.
Gotcha.
Period. You don't give up. But at the same time, you need a very important is to have a support system. And for me, it was my mother first, and then my girls are my support system, my twin daughters.
I love that.
Sometimes you feel like giving up because it's hard. It's a really hard business.
Well, let
And
me ask you, go
yeah,
ahead. Go
it's
ahead.
you're trying and trying and trying, and nothing happens. And some point you say, you know what? That's it. I'm tired. No, 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 no. You're not giving this up right now. No, no. You have gone so far. You have to keep on going. And sometimes when you feel like you try to, like we say in the boxing field, like throw the towel and
Mhm.
say, I give up. No, no, you're not giving up.
No, and we're glad you didn't throw the towel in and give up.
Thank you.
But let me ask you this, because we talk about the hard times and the struggles. Was there a certain situation in particular that tested your faith, and you thought like this was it? I can't take it anymore. I'm done.
Yes and no. Sometimes you feel like in the bottom of yourself, you think that it's a matter of time. You keep on trying. So that's what I keep on telling myself. It's a matter of time. Someday they will recognize my talent. Someday I will have the opportunity. But it's not easy because I'm a woman, I'm an older woman, and on top of that, I'm Latina. So I have like everything against me. That's the way I feel it, you know. But no, I mean, when you love something so much and you put your heart and your soul on it, in some point, I mean, if you keep on trying, what I say is keep on trying. Don't give up. Don't give up. Never give up. Take breaks, but don't give up.
Don't
You
give
will
up.
make it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. Mm, that just hit me. I'm sorry. I got a little chills because I definitely understand. I'm an actor as well. And you don't give up. You just
No.
keep going.
Just, I have a little book where I have all my castings. Last year, I went over 60 castings, 60, and I booked 6 of them.
10%.
Imagine. So yeah, it is hard. It is hard.
But 90% no. And that's what we deal with. 90% of rejection.
So you have to have that tough skin, you know.
Now, let
Really?
me ask you, because you said last year you're on top of the world, basically.
Yeah.
But 2020, now we're in a pandemic. How have you stayed sane, and what are you doing to keep your spirits up and for work?
Well, first of all, because I have probably my family. That's a big important part of my life, you know, my twin daughters. And we're together. We live in the same place. So that we support each other. Sometimes we want to kill each other, but we support each other. But pretty much because I'm doing voiceovers, I do commercials on my studio in my closet, and that helps me. And I also have another artistic necessity, probably you will call it, but I start painting, and I do crafts, and I do jewelry, and I do resin, and I do polymer clay, and I do a bunch of things that I've been creating in all this pandemic to keep myself in a sane. Some people need therapy. Probably that's my therapy. You
Gotcha.
know, to create stuff that make me feel like I'm somehow use how you say it in English in the right word, that you know useless.
We're not useless, right?
If I
And
say something wrong, please correct me. I don't mind you correct me if I say something wrong.
no. You're doing great. But I think it's a message to say keep creating, especially for artists, creatives. You know, if you want to feel alive,
Yeah.
and being by yourself, because some people like myself, I live alone.
Oh God.
So
Oh God, I can imagine living by myself. I will. Oh my God.
I'm
Oh, no.
also the only child too, so I'm okay with it.
And also, once a week, I coaching some young fellows that are acting.
Oh,
So
nice.
I do that too. I do that too. So I guess that connect me with the art world.
Now that's beautiful. Now,
Yeah.
for you in your career, because you worked for years, how do you keep the balance? I mean, especially for someone that's older and who's done this for a while, you can let the young generation know like what we need to do to balance these relationships. And
It wasn't easy, mi amor. When I was, because I moved from New York to here. When I was in New York, I have 3 jobs just support the basics because it's as expensive as here. So I was doing off Broadway theater, and I was doing indie films. Actually, I'm so lucky because 6 of my films have gone to Sundance.
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I guess I was born with a charm, a lucky charm or something, because my mother named me Laura Patricia because she said that she had a friend that he was very lucky. So, and I'm lucky. I guess that came with a name.
I love that.
Part of it, you have to have everything. The right part. It has to be the right moment in the right show, and then like it's also be lucky, to be honest with you, because it's so many talented actors that I haven't made it. Not because they're not talent, maybe because their time hasn't come yet. But it will come at some point. So keep on trying, guys. Don't give up.
And I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier. Just keep going, don't stop no matter how hard it gets, just because, you have to think of how many actors and actresses that came along with you that they don't do this anymore. They kind of, moved on to other things, or maybe the family life and stayed in that. And I think that's the thing we don't want other creatives and other actors to do. Like, stay with it, because if this is something that you really love, it's not about the fame, it's not about
Oh,
the
the
money.
money. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's just to pretty much um, touch people's life, because that's what actors do. It's a very important profession because what you say or what you do affect other people in a massive way, because sometimes they change their life because something one of your characters said, and they were like impacted by that. So it's also important to trying to find the right stories to tell,
I love
you
that.
know.
Now, for you, I've also known that you've done voice animation. Uh,
Yeah.
did you do that last year, or was that the year before?
You know what happened? I was pushing for my fellow actors to do it, to do voiceover. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do just voiceover. So they were keep telling me and telling me. Now that I'm doing this, I say why I didn't do it before. So anyway, I decided to give it a try. And I was lucky enough to land it up in a recurring for a cartoon.
And that was Victor
And Valentino.
and Valentino. Yes, I only seen one episode, but it's really
Cartoon
fun.
Network. It's really cute.
Yeah, I love that. And so you mainly, well, let me say this: you evolved into a voiceover actor. That took some time, right? Because you were acting on screen for years before voiceover came.
No, actually, I was doing both at the same time. So at
Really?
some point, I didn't want to invest in have a demo reel. That's the reality, because it
Oh,
was very expensive to have a demo reel. You
yeah.
know that we have to invest in our career because that's the reality. If it's no pictures, it's classes. If it's no classes, it's demo reel. If it's not a demo reel, it's a voice over whatever. It's all the time investing, 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 and not always have the money to do it. So at some point, my daughter says, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I say, "I want my voiceover demo reel." I say, "Okay." So I was lucky enough to have one of the best guys to make it for me. And I did it. And I remember when I interviewed with an agent and I asked her, what about animation? Because I was dying to do animation. And she said to me, it's the hardest field to break into.
Mm,
And besides that, you have an accent. So forget about it. It won't be easy for you. But who will say that now with the market changing all the time, they want the real accent,
right.
not the fake one. So maybe that's what I was lucky to book this one.
And here's the thing, because we keep bringing up lucky, but I think you also have to be in the right place for luck to happen for you. You know, that you have to be ready for that door of opportunity to swing open. And I think you were just ready. You were prepared at
Oh
all of
no,
these
yes,
situations. You know, it wasn't just luck. It was like I was ready. And then, you know, I was lucky enough for that door to open up for me.
you're
But
right.
I was ready to walk through it.
You're right, because if you're not ready when the opportunity comes, that's it. If you stand out in a casting room, they will remember. But if you suck in the casting room, they will remember you too.
For the wrong reasons.
So it's important to be, you're right, to be ready for that. It's
Ready.
completely true. Yeah.
Now, for you, you've had voiceover agents, you've had commercial agents, talent managers. What can you say to other aspiring actors who are looking to break into the industry and get with a team?
So when you don't have the right representation, try to submit yourself so you can start having some credits. And then, I mean, try to look for representation, because that's very important part of the industry too, to have the right representation. That is not easy. I know it is not easy to get one. So if you cannot have it because you don't have any credits or whatever, I mean, submit yourself. But like I say, keep on trying or start doing your own projects. A lot of kids are doing their own projects. And
And
sometimes they're lucky enough, you know.
And for own projects, you've said you've been to Sundance 6 times. You know, these are independent films. So really, for all the creatives out there, they can do these things as well and submit to these festivals. Now,
Yeah.
were you lucky enough to go to Sundance and speak with other creatives?
Yes, I did. I went because Gentefied was in the beginning was made as a web series. That was the intention, really. And but it was so well done and so well written that it was accepted in some special program of Sundance. So I remember my director telling me, "You need to go to Sundance." See,
Yes.
I'm not even one of the main characters. He said, "You need to go." So I went and I was like completely amazed of how many creative people is in there and how many wonderful things and so many avenues and things to do that you don't have the time to do it. And with that weather, because I used to live in New York, it was freezing. It was horrible for my old bones. But I went and I had a blast. And then when we came back, pretty much I think that was one of the major reasons that this was like a bloom, you know, like crazy, because it was a success, a very successful thing in Sundance. And then they start like, okay, we want to buy it, and I was like, wow. So, but in the beginning, this was intended only as a web series.
And it's amazing that you are able to cross over as well. So from it being a series to being on Netflix, you were able to keep the same character.
But yeah, no, actually, no. It was
Oh,
a different character.
okay.
It was a different character.
So
Uh,
I've never seen this series from
No, it
YouTube.
was a different character. This was a lady that was the owner of a bodega. That is like a store.
Okay.
In the Latin community, they call them bodegas. So she was fighting all the time with one of the main characters. But when what happened that is when they called me to do the casting, even when I went to Sundance and it was a success and everything, they invite me to do the casting. I went to do the casting and I have 3 callbacks before I booked that.
Wow.
So it's not because I was part of the first one, I got it right away. No, took me a while to, again, like, let me fight for this.
Okay, 3 callbacks. Now
Yeah,
that's a lot.
yeah.
That's a
But
lot.
it's great, you know, because then you is like, okay, how many times I have to prove who I am? Let's do this.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, there's confidence in that. You're saying to yourself, they have to like me. You know, you keep calling me back in,
But
so
you never know, baby, because in another occasion, I was in like Another Lady and Me for a very important movie in Hollywood, and I
okay,
didn't get it.
gotcha.
With Kevin Costner, and I didn't get it. So it's like, you never
You
know.
never know. You never know.
But you keep on trying.
You keep
For
on
sure.
trying. And I think that sums up this interview perfectly. Keep trying, everyone. Just keep going. Don't give up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I will say.
So, Lotta, what's your social media handles? Do you have that?
Oh, are you kidding me? Of course. I have a Twitter account that is El Patalano.
Okay.
I have an Instagram account that is also El Patalano. And my Facebook that is Laura Patalano. No TikTok because I don't do those things.
Me neither. It's okay.
It's another one that I do that is more for like business in, oh my God, what's the name? Link.
Oh, LinkedIn.
Yes,
LinkedIn.
I have another account there. So yeah.
Perfect. So tell me this, where can we see you in the next few months, the next year?
Well, baby, I'm pretty sure that we already green light for the second season of Gentefied.
All right.
So I hope next year we'll be shooting because with this pandemic, we everything stops, you know.
It's been,
And Victor and Valentino, of course, we're working on that one.
and
And
that's
also
on Cartoon Network, correct?
Cartoon Network, yeah, yeah. And also, I have a recurring in the L Word Generation 2. So
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that one also will be shooting next year. So for now, those are, and probably a couple of movies that I cannot talk about, but it's like projects that I'm like ready, set, go, you know, to start shooting and to start doing. So I'm just need this to open up again
Yeah.
to start working.
I mean, please, I think we all want everything to open up again. But I have to say, you know, it's been a blessing in spite of, because I wouldn't have created the Actors Break if it wasn't for all of this. And I wouldn't be able to talk to you and speak to you today. So
Oh, thank you, mi amor. Thank you so much. I'm appreciate that the fact that you invite me to be part of this. I'm so grateful and thank you so much. And thank to my friends because they were talking good about me. So
yeah,
you decided to do the interview, but I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
no, thank you. And we look forward to everything that you're going to be in the future. And
Thank
hopefully that's really soon.
I hope so. I hope so too. And good luck with your career and don't give up. You hear
Thank you
me?
so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys, this is the Actors Break, and we are signing off. Thank you, Lotta.
Bye, mi amor. Take care. Bye bye.